So how exactly am I trading these market conditions is probably a good question, guys. Because to be honest, and you know you've heard me say, and I'm sure you guys are currently experiencing it, that these markets, it is not easy. It is tough. It's tougher than it was last year, and it just keeps getting more harder to trade because there's so much inconsistency and uncertainty. And with what's going on around the world as well, that is also completely changing and affecting the way these markets are moving. And while it is hard to be trading, that does not mean there's no opportunities to be making money. Yes, there is opportunities to be making money, but they are harder to be spotting right now and be taking, especially with how volatile these markets are. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk you guys through how I'm trading in these current conditions. But anyways, guys, if you are new to this channel, I break down a lot of trades that I take. I teach you how to think when it comes to trading, not only what to trade, and I go through all these psychological barriers that you'll experience as a trader, and I walk you through how you can overcome them. So if that is something you'd be interested in and you also enjoyed this video, please make sure you do leave a sub and a like. But anyways, let's get into the video. So obviously it's always the same. When you're charting up, you want to stick with higher time frame analysis, especially in this market. Lower time frame is going to be tough because you want to be sticking with the trend of what the market is doing, and the best trend is always the high time frame trend. Okay, and as well, you want to be sticking to your strategy, guys. Please do not be looking around for whatever next best strategy there is. Stick to your strategy, but refine it. You want to refine it to this current market state. Okay. So if I jump onto the charts, always the first thing I'm doing, right? If we're on Bitcoin, I'm just going onto the daily, right? The daily, just getting an understanding of what is price doing. And we have been trapped in this range for a really long time, guys. And yeah, we always get like this break and we think it's going up, but price just pulls back down. So we don't want to be trading and looking bullish still. Okay, there's no real strong confirmation to be wanting to look bullish. We're going to be trading within a range bound. Okay, and what does that mean? Like, if we draw a middle line here, you do not want to be taking any longs in this top half, and you do not want to be taking any shorts in this bottom half. Simple as that, because we are range bound. Price is just coming down, pushing back up, coming down, pushing back up inside this range. So ideally, if you want to be taking trades in this range, like we've identified on the daily time frame, we are in a range, we jump onto, let's say, the 4 hour, you ideally only want to be looking at areas of interest to go long once you're below this middle point. Right, that is where you're going to see the best possibility of going long. And same thing, vice versa. When you want to go short, you're looking for the best opportunity up here to go short. Okay, as you can see, once we're always above, that's where we start getting these pullbacks, right? And when we're below, that's where we start getting these push-ups. You see these push-ups here, right? It barely happens, right? It fails compared to a pull-up from here. These pull-ups work, right? Going longs from those levels. So that's how I'm looking at this range that we're in on Bitcoin and crypto, especially just crypto. And then from there, I'm just continuing my normal analysis, right? I'm marking out major areas of liquidity, major areas of supply, demand, areas of interest, imbalance within the market, okay? I'm approaching it. I'm using my exact same technical analysis, but I'm just adapting it a bit more to the current state of the market where we're in this range, okay? That's how I am looking at it for crypto. Now, if we jump onto AUDUSD, now this is a bit different, okay? Here, all I'm doing is just looking for that trend on the higher time frame, okay? So I was looking to go long at these levels because they were major extreme lows. So I did look to go long here. However, we've broken past that and it looks very, very bearish. So now I'm just going to be sticking to my shorts. A lot of the shorts that I did take on this trend, they were playing out. However, when I started looking to go long, that's where it was a bit harder. And that is where I took a lot of break-even trades because number one, I was against the trade. I was counter trending, even though we were at these major lows. So as soon as we see that push up, we see that sweep liquidity taken in this area of interest, we push up, we get a good move. I'm moving my stop loss straight away to break even. And the reason being is because I'm counter trending. I'm going against the trend. At any moment, price could just reverse and have an aggressive push down. So I'm taking that risk off the table as I'm going in the opposite direction of the trend. When I'm going short, that's a completely different story. I just let price play out and then I manage my stop in accordance to the structure that is being played out. All right, so that's how it is for AUDUSD. Gold is a bit different. Well, it has been short here and there's been a lot of pull downs here. I'm not trading the high time frames on these. I'm trading the lower time frames. And the reason being is if you're on the 4 hour, you're not going to be really getting a good entry. And that's the same with AUDUSD as well and crypto. I'm always trading that lower time frame. I do my analysis on the high time frame, wait for these prices to come into these areas of interest, and then I'm looking to enter. And when I do look for these entries, I'm looking for more confirmation. If you can see over here, for example, I did take a short on gold. And so we did have this push down in price, right? We had a little push up. Then we had a push down, and once we made this little higher low and then we started aggressively pushing down, this is where I look to enter. Okay, I'm not going to do the major analysis of this price here. I'm just giving an example, right? You see that I waited for that confirmation, right? We did a little liquidity sweep here, right? We've taken out these liquidity levels, right? Aggressively pushed down off it. We've come back, we've created a higher low. And that's where we start getting this push down. So waiting for that confirmation entry, that is something a lot that I'm doing, especially in this current market, because like I could have easily entered here, right? Entered at the spot, had my stop loss tucked above here. And as soon as we got this push down, I would have moved my stop. If I'm honest, I would have moved my stop loss to break even. I would have gone tapped out of this trade. But as you can see, it dumped pretty hard, right? And look, in the end, it still played out in the same direction, but I like that more confirmation to be like, okay, this trade looks like it's going to go in this potential direction. So all it is I'm still sticking to the way I'm trading. I'm just changing it up a bit to this current market by waiting for more confirmation, moving my stop loss pretty soon when I'm seeing price move in my direction, because there is a lot of volatility in this market. And there is a lot more times where we are seeing price ranging. Not even ranging, price just chopping. Like, we cannot be trading all of this. This is all rubbish. Okay. So another thing is let's say for example, I entered here to go long and I'm seeing price chop at this level for so long, I am getting out of this trade. The reason being I'm getting out of this trade is because definitely I do not know which direction, but when you have a ranging market, you're going to see some sort of manipulation and then price is going to move in the opposite direction. So if I'm entering here, for example, and I have my stop loss tucked under here, right? So price is ranging. We had it in the other way actually, okay? So we had this manipulation, right? Price pretended like it was going to push up, right? We had that little sweep here. We had that sweep and then we had a aggressive push down of price, right? So that's that manipulation distribution. This is what a lot of other people trade as well, right? You have an accumulation, you have a manipulation and then distribution. Okay, that's a sort of trading pattern. That is what I'm also looking at and identifying right here. So that is why I'm not trading this range. It's better for me to wait for that manipulation and then look to enter. We could have easily gone short here, right? We had the imbalance that filled, a reclaim and a push down. So remember, that's what we're waiting for, that liquidity to be taken first, guys. Okay. Essentially refining your strategy in this market to adapt to it. You want to adapt to it. You can't be sticking to last year's market conditions and expecting it to work in this current market, because we did not have all of this bullshit that's happening right now happening last year. So it's obviously going to be a completely different state of the market. So you need to learn to adapt to this current state. And there is a lot of patience that you need to be having in this market. Yes, obviously there are times as well that I can be impatient, but I don't let that impatience affect my trading. I'm still going to have to wait and sit it out at times. You're going to feel emotions, but then not acting out on it is actually what makes you a good trader. Obviously, you're going to feel these certain emotions, but you need to learn not to act out on it. That's what will make you a good trader. And in this market, that is extremely important, right? Because I guarantee you guys sit at the charts and you just look at it and you'd be like, what the fuck is this? How am I supposed to trade this shit? But that's what it is. It's patience, sitting out, waiting for that right opportunity, refining it to this current market state. And that's where you're going to see, you're going to start making good trades. You're going to start taking good trades. Yes, you're going to take losses here and there, but obviously that's normal, guys. You're going to make that in any market conditions, but you want to minimize it in this current market condition. So that's exactly how I'm trading these current market conditions, and you're not the only one that is suffering from these conditions, okay? There are plenty of people as well, even experienced traders, I guarantee you, out there that are finding this tough. And look, in hindsight, if you think about this, you're learning how to trade in a really tough market. And if you do well, or even if you do the bare minimum, okay, let's say you win 1 out of 3 and your risk to reward is 3, you're still profitable. But imagine that you're still being profitable in this market. Imagine when the markets go good. So use this time to learn, to refine, to adapt, get better at trading, okay? Don't take it on your shoulder as in you're shit at trading. No, that is not the case. Yes, the markets are actually shit. But then, yes, you can also be a shit trader by getting affected by this markets. And you need to remember that as well. Don't get influenced a lot by this market to start taking bad trades. But anyways, guys, I hope that helped you out. It gave you a bit more understanding of how to approach these markets. If there is anything that you guys would like to ask or any more videos that you would want, make sure you just leave a comment and I can get onto that ASAP. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.